Good evening, everybody. Well, I'm just a simple man, and my name is Noah Foster, and this is a unique first. Welcome to this dynamic panel where we are going to give you a simple review of tonight's WWE Summerslam pay-per-view. I am joined tonight by the General Jerry Slaughter.
Good evening, wrestling fans.
The rated R reviewer himself, the wizard of no DQs, Stephen Osborne.
The R stands for restricted.
Don't forget that. The man, the myth, the legend, the troll slayer, the one and only Virtue. How are you?
What's up? We were just at SummerSlam, and you know what? There were some things that were and there were some things we all really enjoyed. So have at it, my man.
Alright, so why don't we just get right into it, because we're just going to go through this as it's going to be. So first off, we had our kickoff show, 2 hours long. It kicked off at 6 o'clock, despite starting at 5. Ridiculous. And kicking us off was the Cruiserweights. Now, Jerry and Stephen, you two came in after this. So you have no idea what happened in that 10 minutes.
Yeah, you're more about the pre-show than we are. So,
Well, I'm guilty. Hashtag 205.
We know what happened at the end. I heard it while I was taking a piss.
Oh yeah, I heard the 3 count for Mr. Gulak.
Yeah, we walked in and Jerry's like, hey, we're missing Gulak's match. I was like, well, I really have to pee, so I'm just going to miss it, I guess.
Wow. Such is the state of 205 Live on a main roster pay-per-view. But anyway, only Lorcan and Drew Gulak, they had a nice 10-minute bout, I thought. Nice little back and forth. He didn't pull out the half and half, so there's no real near fall for me here. But I thought, based on the history I know about them and the time they were given, it was okay. And of course, Gulak won with his new finisher, the Chaos Clash Netbreaker. Virtue, what were your thoughts on this match? I know you're a fan of Gulak.
Yes, I like Drew Gulak, and I'm glad he retained, but I don't like Oni Larkin or Lorcan. That's a weird name. So, first of all, Aaron thought he looked like a generic Cesaro, and then he started doing those uppercuts, and we tried to get a Cesaro chant going. You guys weren't there yet.
Well, here's the thing. If you thought Oni Lorcan was a weird name, back in CZW is Biff Busick.
Correct.
Okay, so it's not
Biff, like Back to the Future?
Yeah,
Yes.
Biff Busick.
I like that name better instantly because it's Biff from Back to the Future. But
Come on,
anyway,
man.
I'm going to pass it on because everyone knows 205 Live isn't my thing, but Drew Gulak is still the champion, and I like him, and I really think he could be a big player on a SmackDown one day, main roster, not necessarily cruiserweight.
Yeah, I feel like he can extend beyond the Cruiserweight division or even push it to higher limits. But I met him live at a meet and greet, and he's all about 205 Live, especially with his new custom-made track jacket. It was awesome to meet him. Anyway, let's move on to that. Next, we had 2 additional matches.
Did you guys talk about? Oh, you weren't there.
Yeah, so they
Yeah,
can't
all I
really
know
give us
about the
more
match
fun.
was we walked in and I looked out there and I saw Oni Lorcan, and briefly in my head I was like, oh, it's some sort of tag team match, I guess. No, Danny Burch wasn't there.
No,
I just
not 1
didn't
and 2.
remember. And I honestly didn't care. I knew Gulak was going to win.
Yeah.
I did
We all
too.
did.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it was just put together literally the week of, so there was no real build to this. If there was more build, I probably would have bought into Oni more. Oni, though, has some experience with NXT. He's doing some things with 205 Live. He has his moments. Will he reach the moment? Only time will tell. Okay bout, though. Following this, though, we learned as we were going in, 2 more matches were added to the kickoff show, so we're just going to talk about them briefly. Let's start with you, because you were here for this. What is your thoughts on the Buddy Murphy vs. Apollo Crews match before the angle?
Well, the thing is with that, Buddy Murphy and Apollo are both really good aerialists and also power wrestlers at the same time. They're really great hybrid wrestlers. So it was interesting to see pretty much Buddy Murphy finally almost get a debut on the main roster, because all he's been doing is really hanging out. But even if it's more still on a pre-show, it still felt like a 205 Live pre-show kind of thing. But the match itself was just beautifully crafted, I thought. It kept a great pace. It was quiet, naturally, because people were still piling in.
Mm-hmm.
But the match itself, I thought was a great match.
Okay. Stephen, anything to add?
Well, I think Buddy Murphy probably needs to be put with somebody that's going to elevate him and not somebody that's stuck in the same position as him. However, I really enjoyed the match. I mean, it was pretty great. My thing is, where did this match come from? where the fuck did these two get beef with each other? That this match got
There
put together?
was
What did I
really no
miss?
story behind it. We just got stuck with.
No, but they were wrestling like they had legitimate beef with each other.
Correct.
Yeah.
This was
And
filler.
it showed in the story of the match. And like I said, I really enjoyed it. I'm just confused because I don't know where it came from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the story of the match wasn't those two versus each other. The story of the match was the end. But before we get to that,
Give it to this man right here.
You know,
Yeah.
Apollo Crews. I know him as Ua Nation, or however you used to say that. I mean,
Yuhadi.
Yeah, Ua. I liked Ua. I used to chant Ua at the AIW shows. But you know, you put these two wrestlers together, and you know, Apollo's a good worker. Buddy Murphy's a good worker. So yeah, it was an okay match. But you know me, I like the thing at the end with who?
Rowan.
Yeah, so talk about it. I obviously popped for that because it's continuity of storylines, which you know what I love.
Yeah, and that's something they usually don't do, especially in a kickoff. Kickoff's just like random nonsense. Someone interrupts a kickoff panel. But no, this was, as Virtue put it, continuity, because for those of you that keep up with the main roster product, SmackDown Live, Roman, he basically...
Roman.
Well, yeah, but you get the idea how it
Yeah.
started, okay? Roman went to the locker room, basically, you know, obsessed with who's the guy, who's attacking me. Oh, buddy, you seem to be the last one to know who might be my attacker is. So he forced answers out of Buddy Murphy, who said, Rowan, as he was getting choked out. We get a stare down, fade to black. Come this show, Buddy Murphy putting on a nice little classic in his debut. New music, too. So, hey, maybe they're finally going to do something with him, redefine him, since he broke up with Alexa Bliss. Who knows? But anyway, yeah, it was a nice back and forth match, like you said, but then Rowan comes out and just destroys Buddy Murphy, who basically ousted him to Roman Reigns. Is Rowan the person to accuse here, or is this just unforeseen circumstance? Only time will tell. And we got a little bit more of an idea later on, but not much more beyond that. Again, this was just fun. There was no real story, but this match felt like a blood feud about, okay, who's the better man, or you oust me? Because Apollo Crews, he's just basically been in the spot. I mean, his last match was what? With Andrade, and he lost. I will say this, at least they're not in catering, and maybe this also goes in line with what Kevin Owens is saying about Shane McMahon, how he even mentioned these two names being overshadowed by Shane McMahon just stealing the spotlight from all these superstars. So, again, there's maybe some more continuity here than meets the eye with just the Roman Reigns mystery attacker debacle. But still, a fun match, interesting angle. Moving on from there, though, hey, I finally got to see a live music performance again. Ladies and gentlemen, Elias. We get an Elias performance, and I'm hashtag non-sports. Go ahead, burn me. But I do understand hockey to an extent. Blue Jays is Canada hockey. Stanley Cup is hockey. And basically Elias put on a new rendition of his song, You Know How I Know I'm in Philly? It was, You Know How I Know I'm in Toronto? He just basically trashed everything sports related to Toronto.
Well, yes, because the Blue Jays suck. Okay, sorry, Toronto, but they suck.
And their baseball.
Maybe they got a couple up-and-comers like Vlad Guerrero Jr. and Bichette. But anyway, this is about wrestling.
Yeah.
Maple Leafs haven't won a Stanley Cup in, 50, 60 years?
I wouldn't
And
know.
the Raptors just won a title. Great. But Kawhi left. So, beautifully crafted, as you would say, promo by Elias to draw heat. Top-notch from me. What do you guys think?
Do you want to take it first, or?
I'm always happy to see Elias when he's a heel.
Yes.
And he's doing that gimmick, not later on what he ended up doing.
Yes.
Yeah, this was great.
Anytime he breaks out with the guitar and gets to sing a song that completely trashes a city, I'm a happy camper.
Yes, and
so
there are go-to sports references that'll just get you tons of
the cheap pops is what it is.
Nothing will ever beat the Seattle one, but still.
No, that was uber heat.
But more importantly, that heat that was built was paid off because what happened, Noah?
I never saw this coming in a million years. All we needed was Tony Chimmel. Metalingus hit, and who comes out besides no one else but who wants to do an intro?
Adam Copeland?
Adam Copeland.
Yeah.
Yes, the rated R superstar Edge. And that place erupted. I wish it was pyro.
That might have been the biggest pop of the night.
It was.
It was.
Yes, it was.
I mean, they did get loud at the very end, finally, for Seth, but...
Yeah, we'll get to that later.
Yeah, I mean, it was cool because Edge is from Toronto? Yeah.
Correct.
And he did a spear. Now, yeah, we know he has to protect himself because of his neck injury, so it was a very light spear.
Right.
But at least they did it.
Yeah.
It was nice to see the original spear, in my opinion. One of my favorite portrayers to use the spear Edge, even if it was light. That was an awesome angle. And again, Elias got TV time, and basically he gets time in the ring with Legend. So he's had a lot of unique angles with a lot of huge superstars.
Don't you guys think that should have been on the main show, though?
I agree.
Because in that middle part, which we'll get to, where it kind of had a lull, that could have been in the middle of that for that pop, and I think that lull part would not have been noticed.
Yeah, because during the show, as you will hear from us folks, it got its highs, and it's quiet, and then really quiet, and then high again. This was a very mixed audience reaction. And this was just the kickoff, though, which was still quiet itself. But again, this was probably the biggest pop of the night.
Solid segment, though.
What you had a thought you were gonna speak out there? What's going on up there?
Oh, I agree with Noah. It should have been on the main show. However, this does kind of give you a reason to want to watch the kickoff show here.
Oh yeah,
true.
And to want to show up to see it and fill out the crowd, because the crowd was not 100%, and that's telling. The fact that a crowd that's probably between 70 and 80% full is a bigger pop for Edge at that point, at that time during the day, than later on when you have even Trish Stratus didn't get a pop, and that was 100% crowd.
Yeah, I couldn't believe
I mean, she got a pop, but she didn't get one nearly as big as Edge's.
No.
Yeah.
But that's because we got 10 to 13 matches and segments.
And freaking Natalya was getting booed.
If you count the beginning of the pre-show, we were still there till 10:30. That's 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
Wrestling shows used to be 2:45.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right, and maybe WrestleManias were 3, a little bit longer.
3 1/4, if that.
It's hard to stay emotional as a fan the whole time.
You gotta try and keep that investment, but with so many distractions and the overall attention span of the wrestling fans, sports entertainment in general, it's just not there initially. You have to build it somehow. This was a way to basically reignite an engine for a short period. It was a cool angle. But moving on from there, boy did it die. Women's, and not Raw, women's tag title match. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, the current champs, versus the former champs. And here I thought there were no automatic rematch clauses. Iconics! And this match was quiet, but here's the thing. Ever since that 4-way, I feel like the women of WWE have had a negative reaction to the WWE Universe, or from the WWE Universe, excuse me.
Yeah.
And of course, Alexa Bliss started the trend now. Hashtag give WWE Women's Wrestling a chance. In this match, I thought it was better executed by all 4 women. You had some nice near spots. Alexa Bliss did actually give us some action because, there's always been that leniency of, can she go? She's been out of injury for so long. Is Nikki Cross just carrying her, etc.? Even though Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss, they come out to Bliss's theme. This Strange Bedfellows, though, it's working. I thought it was an okay match. Stephen, any thoughts on this match?
Smooth ending by Alexa Bliss. I think it was Billie Kay. She's trying to batter Alexa Bliss in the corner, and she backs up just slightly when she's throwing a punch, and Alexa just knocks her with that right hand that she's got, which lays her in perfect position for the
Twisted Bliss, and it was Peyton Royce, by the way. She ate the fall.
Okay, so Peyton Royce, not Billie Kay, but either way, smooth ending, and for most of the match was pretty smooth. I don't think they went for any spots that necessarily would be that risky.
Correct.
But I think Jerry or you maybe noticed that they weren't playing the video footage on the monitors, like the big monitor above the ring.
Correct.
Or the monitors above us.
Yep.
That help the people in the nosebleeds see better. They weren't putting the match on like that, like they do through most of the show.
Yeah.
And that was interesting, because I think Jerry thought maybe it was so that it would hide the botches.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Again,
there's a good chance with, like you said, with Alexa Bliss, how she's still pretty much still finding her footing for being out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was to protect her from the fans who have already got kind of like a backlash going on with her regardless. They don't want her getting booed the entire time. And my thoughts on the match, it was alright. But I like Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss holding the belts. Literally, I like them holding the belts. I
Yeah,
like
the
how
way they pose.
I like how they pose with the belts.
Yeah, Nikki Cross gripping at Alexa Bliss for a typical title pose over her shoulder, looking over like that. And again, it was just weird to me because you think of pre-shows, okay, the matches, you see them on the network, even in a small mute window, and then there's promo. I was thinking, okay, maybe they're just showing this lady for the audience. They're doing nothing but promos here. But Virtue, you also had a thought on that too. So go ahead and express your thoughts.
Well, in reality, it's good to see Alexa Bliss working again and not getting concussed and having to be injured and actually going over in a match, being the champions. But really, it was a Raw or SmackDown match in my opinion, so And the highlight of it was Peyton Royce is a perfect 10. Next.
Yeah, y'all can figure that out. Anyway, so that was our pre-show, literally, which led us into the main show. We had a couple of thoughts of what could open here because there were no tag matches on this card at the time, and there was no tag matches made impromptu, and this was really just Legends Showcase and title matches. I thought it was going to be one of 3 matches to open the show, as me and Virtue discussed. I thought it was going to be like KO and Shane, or Dolph and Goldberg, or even Bayley and Ember. It was none of those 3. And hey, it got a reaction, but she is from a different province. It was Becky Lynch versus Natalya in a submissions match. This match was interesting. Both women jockeying basically to submit each other, not only with their own move, but each other's move. But how about that initial heat Natalya got from being from Canada, but not from Ontario or Toronto, from Alberta? Virtue, any thoughts on this match?
I think this was a good thing that this match was the hot opener because even though Natty is from Canada and people love Becky, I thought this match was going to be blah.
Yeah.
And the fact that it was in the opening spot, people gave it heat. Natty got good heat. She still had her fans. Becky got tremendous pop.
Yep.
And the fans were into this match. This is the definition of a hot opener where the fans are excited for the show and they don't crap on the first match at all, and they really didn't. So we knew Becky was going to retain.
Yeah, we got Becky chants and all the classic chants. Jerry, anything on this match?
Here's the thing with this match. I initially, I showed Steph this, I got goosebumps on my arm. Like, right at the beginning. Because this is my first ever, pay-per-view that I've actually been to live.
Oh.
So,
Wow.
also is the fact that I'm in Canada, and I hear that initial guitar screech from, the Heart Foundation and whatnot. So, automatically, just goosebumps. So the match itself for me, I thought was actually a pretty decent clinic on submissions. I thought they did a great job, working each other over, doing the whole, I'd say cliche of putting each other's moves on each other, and the fact that there was no rope breaks or anything going on, that added more intensity to the match. I enjoyed the match, but I still don't see the disarm her being a superior finish to a sharpshooter. And I think that's what the main thing was about this. It wasn't even about the gold anymore in any way, shape, or form. It was more about showing whose submission move is better. And I'm like, okay, so I feel like I'm more invested in that now than who walks away with the gold.
It feels like really that some of these titles have become more an afterthought, and you actually do look more at the actual story being told in the ring. This match included. Stephen, anything to add?
Well, you want there to be a story told in the ring. And I like the fact that they traded each other's finishing moves, both being unsuccessful, of course.
Yeah.
But what I liked about this is at first I was confused. For the first third of this match, I was like, why isn't the ref doing anything about these girls getting near the ropes or under the ropes? And I'm like, because in a submissions match, the only way to win is by submission. So you can't win by disqualification, you can't win by count out or anything like that. So there's no point in breaking the ropes because you can't get disqualified. But this worked into the match beautifully because I got to see something I've never seen before, and that was a sharpshooter in the corner with Becky slid in between the middle and top ropes.
That was
they're on the
sick
bubble.
looking.
That was awesome. But Becky wins, and we all figured Becky was going to win. And my thing is, I can't believe the boos that Natalya got.
But she was supposed to be the heel,
ridiculous.
so I was cool with that. There was good heat and pop in this match. It was a hot opener.
Yeah,
for
you
sure.
knew who was a heel, you knew who was the
Yeah.
face. There was the initial cheer for get on us on, and then they heard her like boo.
Yeah.
And she tried and got her that heat each time with her own little signal like dance for me, puppets. Every time she did this, instant heat given to her. And again, that unique submissions using the actual ring itself, the ropes to execute submissions, was very unique in itself, and all of us unanimously picked Becky to win. Now the question is, who's next to challenge Becky? Where does Natalya go from here? Because we all know Natalya really doesn't have a gimmick, and it's not like WWE's in Canada every week, so we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens on Raw, and then maybe we'll talk about that on the review this week.
I can't wait to see that. Alright, so moving on from there though, we did get our first Legends match, if you can call it that. It was Goldberg versus Dolph Ziggler. And yes, I had a stopwatch, and I feel like we're going to go talk about this longer than the match was. I'm going to say
Oh,
Virtue
definitely.
for last on this because...
Okay, fair enough.
Just wait. Jerry, your thoughts on Goldberg versus Dolph Ziggler?
I think I was like 10 seconds off from how long I thought the match was going to be. It ended up being, what, like a minute 48 bell to bell?
A minute 47 seconds.
A minute 47 seconds. So it was entertaining to me because it harkened back to, like, Virtue's probably gonna mention this, Jericho and Goldberg, how like he would just antagonize Goldberg, not knowing he was there and everything, and just building this hot feud and just pretty much talking trash about him. And when they did finally meet, he just more or less speared him out of his shoes, and jackhammered him, and that was it.
Yep.
Because Goldberg wasn't a comedy wrestler.
No.
So, for him to do the amount of comedy he did tonight with Dolph Ziggler,
Yep.
Dolph Ziggler made like the crowd laugh.
Yes, he did.
It was so delusional. It was fantastic.
Remember, Dolph is a stand-up comedian too.
Yeah.
So that
He
helps with his
improv
selling.
well tonight.
He's got the perfect timing. So DZ tonight didn't mean Dolph Ziggler, I meant delusional.
Well, he's probably still delusional after everything we saw. And again, he knows how to sell, and now he knows how to really act it out thanks to his comedy gimmick. Steven, any thoughts on this match? I know you're a huge fan of Goldberg. This is my first time seeing him.
My very first live show was a Monday Nitro back in probably '98, and the first wrestler that came out was Goldberg. Like it was before the show. It might have aired. I don't know. I wasn't at home watching it, obviously. But he came out and got in the ring and hooked up a car battery to some jumper cables, and that started the pyro for the night.
That's the other thing we forgot to mention.
Oh yeah, that's right. My apologies, folks. This was actually different than your average, ordinary, bland shows. We had pyro, not a lot, but we did have a nice pyro opener, and Goldberg had his pyro.
Back to
Brock
that,
Lesnar had his
mention-
pyro.
I had to mention a pyro real quick. So.
But
Yes.
so Goldberg was like the first wrestler I got to see, and fast forward 20 years later, I get to see him wrestle again. So that was really awesome. This was a squash. Like, I thought this match was going to go a longer distance, like somewhere between 7 and 10 minutes. Because I thought, much like at the very beginning of it, Dolph Ziggler was going to catch Goldberg off guard and be able to work him in a match that made Dolph Ziggler look good for a while, and then Goldberg would come back. No, this was a squash.
Well, your definition of good depends on what you're looking for. A good wrestling match or a good selling, because initially he did get the ups on Goldberg, and then Goldberg's 2 moves of doom ended it.
Well, he caught him off guard with a super kick and then hit another one. And Goldberg's kicking out in less than one.
Yeah.
Less than one count, and Goldberg's kicking out of super kicks. And then he gets speared out of his boots, jackhammered 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And then Goldberg leaves, or goes to leave. And Dolph Ziggler won't shut his mouth.
He
and
said
he keeps
something.
telling
I wish I recorded
Goldberg,
it.
"You just have no balls." I think at one point he called him a bitch. Did he call him a bitch?
Yes,
Yeah.
he did. And Virtue, why don't you talk about the post-match angles?
So, well, first of all, those were the 3 best-selling spears. I'm not saying
Yes.
what Goldberg did was the best spear, but the person taking the spear, Dolph Ziggler, just had 3 consecutive best spears taken of all time.
Bravo.
That was Shawn Michaels, but Dolph Ziggler doing it, maybe even better than Shawn would have done it.
Potentially.
They have a missed up.
Better than Sid
The crowd
Scala.
was hot for them because you can't look what happened with Goldberg in Saudi Arabia, right?
Oh,
this
God.
this was everything to make people forget about that, and Ziggler did his job to perfection, right? But they had a missed opportunity. Not Ziggler. WWE should have had Dolph play the role of Y2Z. Came down. They own the rights to the Jericho theme song and countdown, right?
Yes, they
should have
do.
did that. Played on Chris Jericho. Because remember the match that never happened on Nitro and WCW because
Yep.
Goldberg was a diva?
Yeah.
They should have done that because that's a shot to AEW. And they're taking shots, and that would have made that comedy gold times 10. But again, it was still really good.
Especially after coming out to
But
Goldberg's
could you
entrance.
imagine
Yeah.
if Ziggler played Y2Z and Goldberg still did that? That would have been awesome.
It
Yes.
probably would have been the most talked about angle of the entire night. We haven't even got to
Missed
that
opportunity.
yet.
You need creative people to bring stuff like that up.
Yeah,
You do.
go figure.
That would have been money. But anyway, not
Yeah.
bad. Still not bad.
Yeah, I mean, I freaking enjoyed it. I was fairly entertained with my first Goldberg match and seeing the entrance live with full pyro and everything. It was just downright awesome. And then Dolph Ziggler, better than The Rock, better than HBK, whatever you call him, Mock, Shawn Michaels, HBK 2.0. The man can sell. There's a reason why he gets paid the bucks that he
Best
does,
seller in the business.
Yes.
without a doubt. Leave a comment down below if you wish to challenge us on that. All right, so moving on from there, our next match was actually AJ Styles versus I have no idea what it was, but it's Ricochet regardless. And this was basically your run-of-the-mill, high flyer counter type match because these two men have faced each other, what, 4 times now, I think, for the title?
Yeah.
So it's pretty obvious who's going to win here, especially with the new gimmick of the OC. I'm not talking about California.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Nightwing is where I think his costume looked like mostly.
Yeah, Ricochet had a unique costume. There was multiple ideas being thrown out, including but not limited to Power Ranger, both black or blue, Nightwing, Black Panther, Aquaman. We didn't know how to judge his costume. We already know how they try and portray him as a superhero, but it's not like he dresses up like Giant Gargano and dresses up as Marvel superheroes. Not since leaving NXT anyway.
He's
But-
his own superhero.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a superhero
Ricochet.
outfit created for him.
Yeah, and Casey Canzaro, obviously.
There you go.
Oh.
Hey, we all know Casey Canzaro is going to watch this. They're going to do a react. WEPC YouTube channel is owned by Casey Canzaro and Ricochet. Simple as that. Jerry, I know you hate that name, but talk about this match and your thoughts.
First off, yeah, I hate the whole OC, the original club thing. That's still annoys the piss out of me because they're not the original club in any way, shape, or form. Finn Balor, Doc Gallows, and Carl Anderson, yes, that's the original club. And a couple other guys from Japan, actually. But at the same time, I'm thinking, okay, at this point, I already knew Ricochet wasn't going to win, which sucks because Seth and I being from Kentucky and Ricochet being from Paducah,
Very least we weren't the only Kentuckians in that arena.
Yeah, that was
In 18,000 plus.
That was actually pretty sweet. But not once in that match, since Gallows and Anderson were out there, did I think that AJ was going to lose the bet.
They didn't even kick him out, did they?
No.
No?
And I don't know what it is, but Gallows is he getting trolled every time? It's like, yeah, dude, I'm totally gonna put on makeup with you this time. Goes out there looking like one of the members of the Legion of Doom, and they're like, he's like, oh, I left it at home again.
Well, we all know how that worked out for
War
a
the
session.
Barbarian. I
Oh,
remember those.
I was about to say that's what kind of reminds me of too. But the finish was sweet. I thought it was a great match in general because it's AJ Styles and Ricochet. They don't put on bad matches.
No.
And we got to see the calf crusher. We got to see Ricochet flying around. Even do almost like a bridge across the shoulders, like running across Anderson and Gallows to attack AJ, which I thought was just great.
And that was an opening angle, but of course the closing angle was Ricochet was going for a high aerial, high risk maneuver. AJ Styles countered by catching him and planting him with a single style clash. That was the end. But to add an exclamation point to prior to this feud, what happens following that? The remaining OC, the Good Brothers, the Raw Tag Team Champions, Luke Gallows, Corazon, they pull out a magic cure and plants Ricochet. Too sweet, leave the ring, match is over. I thought this was a pretty good match, though. Virgil, any further outtakes on this match, or any idea on the costume still?
No, I mean, it was one of those that we mentioned. Nightwing, I think, was the most popular when you tweeted it.
Yeah, I got the poll here.
It's AJ and Ricochet. I mean, we know what they can do. They obviously were in the spot they were in, so they only gave them so much time. Great finish, Styles clash. I like seeing AJ strong again, winning. I thought they were stooged at that Raw reunion show. I don't like that. But, you know, they remind me of the Wolfpack, you know, red, black.
Yeah.
That logo of, I don't know if that's a dog or a gremlin or what it is under that, like,
samurai
mask.
It's a show.
I love
Yeah.
AJ's theme song, but it's like, I just
want.
think, Wolf, everybody, the Wolfpack, too sweet.
Yeah, I remember that in the red and black.
But yeah, they're not the original club, but they're going to play that they are. So just roll with it.
And
Yeah.
Stephen, what are your thoughts?
Well, for me, this match was based in story because there wasn't a whole lot of match. So the story here was that Ricochet is still just a little green because he was 1-on-3 and he doesn't know how to fend off two guys on the outside trying to keep him from doing his shit. I mean, he was successful a couple of times, but the ending of the match was directly related to, who was it, Gallows got up there and distracted him?
Yeah.
So when he comes off the ropes looking for the second Hurricane Rana, AJ holds on, kind of drops him like he's going for a powerbomb, but picks him right back up and puts him in the Styles Clash and ends the match. But even before that, I can't remember what the move was, but he went for one of his moves a second time and didn't hit it that time. Just story of him being a little green. AJ is just that much better, especially as a heel, because now he's got Gallows and Anderson to help him with the dirty work.
Yeah.
And there might be people like Ricochet's been on the indies. He's not green. He's wrestled Ospreay in great matches. I think Stefan means in WWE Ricochet's green.
Right.
It's a different
Correct.
it's a different
It's a
ball
different
game.
world.
And
You
he'll
haven't
get
watched
better.
it, it didn't
He'll
happen.
He'll
He's
get
young
better.
and brand new.
Yeah, he'll get better.
Yeah, I mean, just give it time. No one's good overnight, despite what y'all may think about some
I mean,
people.
think of it this way: AJ Styles used to wrestle James Ellsworth, so he's getting Ricochet. You know, Ricochet's not. He's way better than James Ellsworth.
Hell yeah.
I was about to say, AJ was in the dying days of WCW as well, like right at
Well,
the
that's a
end.
good point. A lot of people forget that.
Yeah.
And you have Ricochet, who's I actually started talking about this again the other night. He's he's consignment talent, whereas a lot of people think he's brand new. He's actually been around for a while, so it's
Yeah.
almost like new to you / consignment talent.
Yeah, exactly. Man, this was what was the only thing that was odd here is, okay, now I know when they usually do the international announce row, because Ricochet's theme played forever. I like his Titantron, but I agree with Virgil. AJ's theme is better. And then there was some sort of angle with Drake Maverick. That was another thing to take away. If y'all have more on that, let us know in the comments. And thank you to everyone in the No DQ Galaxy that voted in that poll. Yeah, the winner was Nightwing, most people said, with 67%. And yeah, so I guess it was Nightwing, unless there's any other judgments against that. You want to check the time of the video?
Gargano.
Go ahead.
Gargano has proven a couple different times that a superhero costume does not make successful.
Yeah.
I
bid
mean,
for
all
a
these
title.
smaller guys
Yeah.
trying to be superheroes, they got to wear the costumes. I mean, it's cosplay. So to me, it kind of tacky. But anyway,
Yeah, Brock Lesnar comes out and all he needs is a Speedo.
Yeah.
Yep, pretty much.
Nonetheless.
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah, there was like a New Day clip, blah, blah, blah. No, not much to take away from that. Let's move on to the next match here. Our next match was the next women's bout. The SmackDown Live Women's Championship between Bayley and Ember Moon. I guess face makeup is becoming a thing now. So this was a typical match. I mean, the biggest thing I missed out on, no eclipse. She went for it a couple of times. I feel like if she would have hit that, that'd be like the biggest pop and possibly her winning. I know a few people in Team No DQ were pulling for her to win because they want to see her push, and people have mixed some judgments right now about Bayley's title reign. It's showing this match as the crowd again. This was kind of the starting point of the show where it kind of cooled off. Steven, what are your...
Cooled off is not the way to put it. The crowd died for this match.
I was trying to be generous.
Fucking died.
No.
That's a great point.
They might have popped a little bit for the entrances themselves, but after that, everybody settled in, and I don't know if they were just full of beer or what, but they
were
died.
tweeting, they were going for beer, they were doing everything. People
did
tried
not care
off
about this match at
Bayley
all.
London song chant. Even Virtue and Aaron, with an A, tried that. Didn't work
But
out.
I didn't know it.
Even that's a lazy chant.
Yes.
See,
It's a
you
real
know
lazy
what?
chant.
There's just not as many kids in the crowd as there used to be. It's a lot of, middle-aged dudes, but
Older
adults.
guys.
There are still kids, but not as many. Bayley's gimmick needs kids.
Correct. It's literally designed for that.
It needs kids to get over, and that's why I don't think it is.
It's literally designed for that, just based on her music, her persona, and her colorful, bubbly personality. She's literally the superstar for kids. I wouldn't call her the female John Cena, but she's definitely a superstar built for kids. Jerry, any further thoughts on this match? And yeah, folks, I was trying to be generous, but there's no denying it. The crowd was dead.
Well, that's the other thing. You keep on saying it's geared for kids and whatnot. And I think it's the fact that now WWE's like pushing me harder to go to the whole TV 14 thing and actually go back to an edgier time and whatnot. The fans don't want that bubbly. They want the violence. They want the hard hitting. They don't want a chick that's gonna run out there with the floaty arms and wanting to hug everybody.
Yep.
And I think that's what makes her will make her a great heel, is if she sticks with that to the point where people are just so sick of it. But like she keeps on like doing what she does. So the match ended with a Bayley to belly suplex off the second.
I was just saying, how in the heck is a belly-to-belly suplex a finisher?
It is
And
the
then
worst
she
finisher.
does it off the top rope, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
That's
it makes
weird,
it seem
though.
more. It makes it seem more.
That was weird that I said that, and then it was the higher spot.
Well, it made it seem a little more effective because really it's just a gut-wrench body slam with you on top of your competitor. That's really all it is. I mean, a little more momentum
like
coming
if
out
she
the
was
second.
Nia Jax size doing a belly-to-belly.
Oh, yeah.
That would be a heck of a
good
move.
Lord. Crush her ribs. Ember Moon, though, she brought some decent action here. Good try. Yep.
Does anybody miss Nia Jax, by the way? I just figured I'd bring that up.
So Bayley
Next
is
reaction on
sitting in wrestling training school, just talking to her friends, and she says, "What should my finisher be? What should I name it?" And they're like, "Oh, you should totally name it the Bayley to Belly, just because it sounds like a pun."
I wonder if that was a Dusty play because
And
Dusty,
then-
worked with these people the most. Rest in peace.
And then now she's doing a belly to belly suplex as her finisher, and it is.
She's still champ. I thought Ember should have won, but whatever.
I think so. I think it's a cool finisher for her in the sense that she's a hugger. So she's like bring it in, hug it out.
Yeah.
My thoughts on finishers are as follows. One person's finisher done by anybody else should at least get them a 2 count.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
If anybody else does your finisher and it would only get them a 1 count, it is not a finisher. And a belly to belly suplex, I don't care who does it, is not a finishing move.
Yeah.
Well, you can only hope one day for an evolution for that, I guess. But moving on from there, basically this match was overshadowed by this one, even with the minimum pop. Trish Stratus versus Charlotte Flair. Some would probably say a little play on Impact, passing up the torch angle with Gail Kim and Tessa Blanchard. But this was an okay match because we got some Stratus faction and we got all our classic spots from Trish Stratus. It was not so much a redemption as it was, I can still do this. I hope y'all enjoyed. I'm from Toronto. Here's some fun for you. And we got You Deserve a chant out of this. And even Trish Stratus pulling out shades of WrestleMania 22 without the separated fingers. And even trying to submit Charlotte with
Was that a
her
Mickey
own
James reference?
NXTeam, yes.
Okay.
And good old JR.
For those of you who didn't know that.
Yeah, classic. And basically, Charlotte won with her finisher, but it was unique how Trish put Charlotte into her own finisher. I couldn't tell who really got more into the figure 8, when they executed Charlotte Flair, who owns the move, or Trish Stratus because she's so damn flexible. But this was a fun match. She got a thank you and a standing ovation. Does that ride her off in the sunset? I don't know. She has kids. She's a mom. We'll see what happens. Virtue, any more thoughts on this match?
I liked it. I didn't love it. And I kind of thought that was going to be the case no matter where they put it. But they did, because the build, I didn't like the build. Next thing you know, the rumor of whatever that dirt sheet writer is said, hey, this is going to be the match at SummerSlam for Charlotte. And the next SmackDown, Trish was announced to have the in a promo. You don't have a build for something this special. It's probably going to come across as a like, not a love. And I heard some people thought it was just bad. They thought Charlotte was slow because Charlotte hasn't worked big matches really since WrestleMania.
Correct.
Trish is maybe a little bit rusty. Being there live, I couldn't see that. So like I said, I liked it. I didn't love it. These two are meant, especially Charlotte because she's in her prime, are meant to be in big title matches. And this just felt like it was just in there to be in there.
If the execution was played better, like you said, where she came out furious that, I don't have a match on the card, damn it, I'm not leaving the ring until I have a match. And then we got Trish, I think it would have definitely been better received. But really, I hope Jeff Meacham liked it more than anybody else because he wanted to see this match live.
Rift said Edge got the huge pop because you didn't know.
Exactly.
And that should have been Trish too, but we knew, and it was just kind of like, nothing's on the line. Okay.
Yeah, pride, if nothing else, or endorsing the future.
What does everybody else think?
On paper,
Devin.
this match is a dream match.
Yes.
And it only really works when you play it in a video game. Because in real life, Trish Stratus hasn't been in the ring in, a year or whatever?
Yeah.
And because she was in that tag match, but she really didn't get in the match.
Right.
Yep.
And that was the one on Raw last week.
Yeah.
That tag match,
That
she
too.
worked, but she didn't look good in that one either. And she's just not in ring condition. And she tried to hit the Stratusfaction, and she nailed it, but let me tell you, here's the thing about the Stratusfaction. That is one of those moves where it is completely done by her opponent. She is being held and forced through the whole move.
Momentum.
Yeah, she's being carried through the move, and that is the theme of the match. She was being carried by Charlotte through the whole match. There was even a spot where she went for the Stratosphere and couldn't get completely vertical with her legs around Charlotte's neck.
Correct.
Charlotte had to reach out from being seated on the corner and grab her legs and pull them around her neck.
Great points.
Yeah.
Robbie Vice, if you watch this, you said Charlotte was slow and rusty.
There's
I
only
think we
so
agree
much
that
she can
Trish,
do.
as great as Trish is a mom.
She's
a legend, retired legend.
Yeah, she's taking it easy.
She kind of brought Charlotte down a little bit.
She's in great shape physically. Physically,
Yes.
she looks like she could pull off any match.
Yeah.
So
But
did
she
anybody.
has not been doing this forever.
Yeah.
And Charlotte, I think Charlotte did just fine. There's only so much she can do to carry Trish Stratus without looking like she's carrying Trish Stratus through a match.
I really wish that
This was fine.
I really wish there was like some sort of technology, maybe in VR, where you could actually hear like Charlotte and Trish exchanging words, because clearly this was choreographed to make sure no one would get hurt. Because you're right, Trish was definitely not 100% in ring shape for this match. Charlotte helped her through most of the moves that Trish executed. So with that being said, Jerry, your thoughts on this match?
What do we got here? What was that place? That needle place we went to? Like
The tower.
The tower.
CN
CN
tower.
CN Tower,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Drake Tower.
Yeah. The Trish Stratus had that on the back of her tights, and it was ironic because I didn't pay to see that, and I didn't pay to see this match either. I didn't really give a shit about this match. I really didn't.
Interesting.
I thought the finish was cool. I thought Charlotte's figure eight move was just fantastic, but otherwise, I couldn't really get into this match because I already had in my head that Trish was just there to get cheap heat on Charlotte. It's something you and I and Stefan actually mentioned when we were actually sitting there talking about the prediction video in general. Is the fact that Charlotte was there to pretty much send Trish off more or less and get heat in Toronto. But kind of backfired though is the fact that the crowd wasn't really that big into Trish as everybody thought they were good.
That's true, because
Correct.
it wasn't a surprise like Edge. And here's one other thing. Why is Charlotte not going for any title since WrestleMania? Her character would absolutely do that. Not want these nostalgia matches.
That's a very good point, considering, yeah, she's done nothing with it. I mean, wait, she is dating Andrade Cien Almas, and I know Andrade, he recently had, like, family losses, so that could count for some of the time she took off to maybe condone with him and his family. But as far as why she hasn't been in time matches since, I don't know. With Clash of Champions, maybe they'll finally set up Bayley versus Charlotte again. I mean, Steven, would you rather see that, or would you rather see Bayley versus Sasha?
Support, no DQ.
My final thought on this match is that before it went on would have been the perfect spot for Elias, and then eventually Edge to come out. Edge comes out, gets the crowd back on their feet after being, let's say, bored to death by Bayley versus Ember Moon.
Sad to say.
And gets the crowd energized again, and then he introduces Trish Stratus.
My question was the Street Profits promo right before this match with Ric Flair showing up.
I don't remember. I don't think it matters.
I think I thought that was a really quick, cool compy bit with Ric Flair showing up.
It gets the crowd wooing, but you can do that while you're chilling back in your chair. Like, it doesn't get you on your feet.
I like the fact that Montez Ford, like, keeled over.
If Ric Flair had come out to his music and his entrance with the robe and everything,
Yeah.
the crowd would have gotten on their feet.
Oh, yeah.
But a video on the screens, if you can see him right, nah, that's not going to pick the crowd up. But I think Edge coming out right before the match between Charlotte and Trish Stratus would have significantly juiced the crowd.
That would be a lot Toronto in a row.
And the thing is, I thought I was honestly going to see Elias versus Chad Gable based on that angle they had on SmackDown Live. Guess I was wrong. Maybe they'll say that for Tuesday.
Well, there's some stuff they didn't do. Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan. But anyway,
Yeah.
we still got some matches to cover. What's the next?
Well,
what's the
we
next
got
one,
four.
Noah?
Oh, crap.
What's the next one?
Well, it's not special, but I mean, it is what it is. KO versus Shane McMahon. What can I say besides this? I wanted Shane to be written off TV. KO won. He doesn't have to quit. Shane did not leave him on a stretcher, did not flip him off. It wasn't WrestleMania 22, blood and guts worthy, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to leave it at that and let these gentlemen take it over. Steven, your thoughts on KO versus Shane? With Elias as a special guest enforcer after taking a spear from Edge. Apparently an hour and a half earlier, he recovered.
This match was everything that is predictable about this brand. You could have guessed everything that was about to happen in this match, just about, and then all the way up till KO fends off the odds and stuns Shane McMahon and picks up the victory. Like, it would. Where was Drew McIntyre? Is he not allowed in Canada or something? Like,
That's a good point.
why was Drew McIntyre not out there fucking putting the Claymore on KO while the ref was taken out? Because KO does a jump off the apron onto Elias, but ends up taking out the other referee too.
You wonder if that
would
was
have
planned.
been that would have been the spot. The revival. Shane's got like 80 people in his back
BT.
pocket, and
Yeah.
nobody can come out and help him get KO out the door. And then it's not like being fired or quit ever really affects anything. The dudes always show up anyway. It's written in the script.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought that KO should have lost because they could write him back on TV somehow.
Yeah, Vince McMahon never successfully fired The Undertaker, or Stone Cold.
Nope.
The Undertaker successfully quit on his own like one time, but eventually he came back.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah, I mean,
Indifferent it sounds like from Steven.
Completely
like no Sami Zayn, and now Sami Zayn's getting squashed on TV. They just had, no Drew McIntyre like you said, and Shane McMahon, isn't he going to have stuff to let him win a match like this to beat Owens, so Owens has to get fired or whatever the stipulation was? And I just don't understand. You even had Elias come out, and they all stooged it off. They were all like, why couldn't Shane tell Elias, hey, tell your KO's disqualified. He hit my special enforcer with a chair. And they did some weird like Shane overpower trip. let the people hate Shane more. I know you all hate Shane. That's the point of it, because then when the time is right, you can pay it off and have Owens, like they used to do with Austin, come back and get his glory and then move back into the title scene.
Yeah, I know we're all.
I don't know.
I
That's
know
just
we're
my
all
opinion.
sick of seeing Shane McMahon, but he got considerable boos.
Yeah, he
like
did.
like an honest to God real life wrestler does. And the crowd was chanting at Shane, "You can't wrestle," and then Virtue stands up, yells at the whole crowd, "Neither can you." And it's true, Shane McMahon may not be the best wrestler in the world, but he is extremely good at getting people to boo him.
Yeah.
And there you go, Crowdy. Jerry, anything to add besides all of that before I say anything else to close?
Up until that moment, I had a perfect score going on. Because that last
The whole
night,
weekend.
the whole
You
weekend,
did.
NXT Takeover, 5 for 5, and I was all the way up to this match, and
Perfect.
dropped the ball.
Yep.
Why?
Because of me. Because I made a good argument when we did the predictions video.
It's that pretty much, more or less, because you and I both had the notion that maybe, just maybe, WWE was going to do this right.
Yeah.
They were going to have Owens lose and find a way of getting back into the company, or just causing mayhem wherever he goes. That's what he needs to be doing. That's how he gets to become the top guy in the company again, or where he should really be, because he's a great performer.
Yeah, there's
Like,
no story after this.
Yeah,
one.
there's nothing left. Like, basically, okay, great. Shane lost. Is he no longer the best in the world?
I mean, they did you a favor, people, and took Baron Corbin off TV for a while, right? For a couple
I
weeks
guess.
or a month.
I
And
didn't
so now
even
you want
remember
Shane.
that.
Everybody you don't like, now I know it's not all of you, but everybody you don't like, you just want off TV. It's a job to them. They need to get paid.
I
Well-
like Baron Corbin, actually.
And Shane is a heel. I mean, granted, he doesn't need to get paid. But I mean, he's at least, because he's doing his angle, Elias is on TV a lot more. McIntyre for the most part. So at least they're giving TV spots.
I suppose that's true to an extent, but you still got to think about Shane overshadows all of that, taking the most time out of anybody. Now, as far as Shane goes, it basically goes like this. Vince is living vicariously through Shane. I truly think Vince wants the Attitude Era back. I honestly thought they were going to go for some sort of rebuild storyline angle from 1998, I believe, with Stone Cold and KO, with the hostage situation and the Zamboni and all that other crazy nonsense. But yeah, now you're right. He won. Shane's still there. There's no storyline. Obviously, Shane's going to probably do another me versus you again, KO. You didn't beat me. You cheated to win, because as you're discussed.
Okay, so it's dawning on me. They are going to do another match, and it's going to be, this time, KO insists that Shane puts his career, or his active duty wrestling career, on the line.
Yes.
And it'll be career versus career.
Basically, because you gotta think that they're trying to write off this angle, because it's not like, how much longer can you run with this? And again, no Sami Zayn, no Drew McIntyre. He must still be feuding with Sid Alexander. Braun Strowman must have thrown Sami Zayn in a dumpster. B-Team has been missing since the meet and greet. I saw them this morning. And who else could be there for Shane McMahon? Well, I guess every heel possible. But yeah, nobody came out. And we didn't even get Shane hot spots here. No coast to coast. No elbow for the announce table. No low blow from Shane McMahon, though a low blow was from KO when, the real ref was incapacitated. Instead of using a chair, when the ref came back to reality, he's like, sorry, here you go. Bam, low blow. Then the stunner came out, and he won with the stunner. So he's playing off that as his babyface finisher, crowd pop for that. But yeah, where you go from here, only time will tell. And as far as Shane goes, maybe necessarily don't write him off, but maybe just don't give him so much time. Because you think about who's not on this card besides the people that helped Shane. I mean, no Braun Strowman, no Roman Reigns, no Daniel Bryan,
Nuts.
no tag titles, no IC title.
That's why, because he's
No
so
knocking
stuck
around.
in
There's a
traffic.
difference, though. Shane McMahon represents the last of the authority figures. 'Cause
Well, when
there's
he
nobody else showing
when he
up on
goes
TV
off
anymore.
TV, Stephanie will be back. You know how they
No, I'm hoping that he goes off of TV and we don't get authority figures anymore. They find some other
Good
way
luck.
to drive story.
You know what? Unless you want GMs back and you truly think they're going to do GMs, I wish you the best on that theory. And I believe Virtue's right, because who hasn't been on TV in a long time? Stephanie McMahon, and with all these changes coming up with WWE, with the Fox move, allegedly rebuilding the brands, and now you got Paul and Eric in creative control of both these shows, something's got to give.
All the McMahons will be in that ring on SmackDown on Fox, that first show.
I guarantee you're right.
You can have somebody designated as the authority figure without them being involved, and I think UK or NXT UK and NXT do that very well.
Yeah.
Different world,
Regal hardly ever gets involved, and on NXT UK, Johnny Saint and Sid Scala almost never get involved.
Correct.
Don't
They
tell
are
us to
there
do an NXT
once in a
video.
while.
What's
Once
next?
in a while to sign a match.
All right, let's calm down.
Save it for your shows.
All right. Okay, there's only one word I can say about this match. Stupid! Kofi Kingston versus Randy Orton for the WWE Championship. And I'm pretty sure Kofi Kingston was wearing like Toronto Raptor colors and purple. Because again, like John Cena, they changed the color of their gear. And this match was like days ago, to say the least. Stephen, what was your thoughts on this match?
Crowd died again. I'm a fan of both of these guys. I know that they both get a lot of heat for different reasons. In this case, Kofi was getting Kofi's stupid chants from all the people that like Virtue here and like you yourself are tired of Kofi Kingston being the WWE champion.
I'll talk more about that once he's done. Go ahead.
But yeah, this is where the crowd died again. And my favorite part of this match, and I hate to say it because again I'm a fan of both of these guys, was that this marked the fact that there's only 3 more matches to go. Such a long
Let's face
show.
it was a double count out.
It was a
Kofi
long
retained.
show.
Of all the
There's
possible
nothing really to
finishes.
say about this match. The best part of this match was go to the No DQ Twitter or Noah's or mine and
jeez.
watch Aaron's video. I didn't even know Aaron was recording this. He was doing the whole sing-along to the New Day entrance. And you know me, Mr. Anti-Kofi, I was just kind of just doing this because Kofi's coming out, right?
Yeah.
Big E's the center of attention because he does the whole intro.
Yeah.
Kofi's coming out with the WWE title throwing pancakes or whatnot.
Yeah.
So I do this.
Yeah.
And that, I'm not going to spoil it. Go watch that video.
And
It's got 5,000 views already.
I can't believe I'm that popular, but yeah.
That's my feeling for what happened in this match.
Caitlin, that was for you who wanted me to do the freaking New Day intro. Talk about playing to the product. You're welcome.
I have nothing to say about this match.
Jerry, anything to say about this match?
We saw pretty much any kind of spot we would see out of the two of these that we have seen over the past decade.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much what this match was, a rehashing over the past decade. But it had really no closure to it. The only thing that was different about this match to me was the fact that his kids and I guess his wife were in the front row.
Mm-hmm.
And they got to see their daddy more or less go crazy with
Go
a kendo
hardcore.
stick.
Yeah.
And otherwise, this match, yeah, like a lot of people were doing the New Day clap, but they're also chanting RKO, RKO, which I thought was pretty clever. But I remember watching these guys back in OVW and Deep South Wrestling. I watched them come up, I've watched them grow and everything, and where they are right now, both as athletes and everything, remarkable. It's great to see. But at the same time, we've seen enough.
Yeah, and again, this was a reinvention of 2009, but also, like you said, the angle at the end where it's double count out of all the freaking stipulations.
Means
and
it's going to
everything.
continue too.
Yeah, it's basically playing off what AJ and Joe were doing, except Randy didn't call out Kofi's Kingston and say, "I'll be your daddy."
You should be happy about this though, because obviously they weren't going to put the title on Randy tonight.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted Kofi to leave SummerSlam with the title, and I agree. I feel like to win the title at WrestleMania and drop it after SummerSlam, to successfully defend it on both of those shows, or even if you're defending it, that is one of those title reigns that is legit.
Yeah.
You made it that long. You successfully defended it at SummerSlam. Even if you lose it
You've
the next
made it
night
through
on
a
Raw,
season.
You made it
through
100
like a
plus
season,
days.
yeah.
You made it through a season,
So-
even bigger.
This means that the feud is going to continue, and you might actually see Randy Orton take the title off of Kofi, because he wasn't going to do it tonight.
I was hoping it would happen.
Maybe he will be the one.
So
Maybe.
y'all should be happy about this.
I might be a little bit, because who knows, maybe this will finally change. Because here's the thing, I don't mind Kofi as WWE champion. Like Virtue and I have discussed, he's been at the business, 11 years. He's a great hand, great worker, but it's not Kofi Kingston WWE champion. It's New Day WWE champion. There's a reason.
The gimmick is the champion.
Yes! All three of these men have freaking gold. The freaking gimmick is more over
Might as well
than the
let him do
personality.
Freebird rules, because then I could actually be into it, because Big E would be have an opportunity to defend it.
And in my opinion, Big E's the breakout star of the New Day, just wearing the hat.
He's got the charisma on the mic. He's got the body. He works out with John Cena. He's huge. He's powerful. Everything Vince McMahon wants in a champion. Why is Kofi it?
Everything he just said,
Sorry.
he yelled at the crowd during this match.
Oh,
That
yeah,
was
that's
epic.
right.
That was the best part of this match. You should have been there.
He was lecturing the crowd
I
out
said
loud.
Big E is the real star of New Day. That was for you, Rob Klein.
And I said, I agree. Also, there was a point during this match, both men were basically getting, I guess you could say, anti-chants, where they said, Kofi sucks, or Orton sucks. When they said Kofi sucks, it was like, I agree. But
Well,
anyway,
Kofi's stupid. That was the chant.
Kofi's stupid.
yeah, Kofi's stupid and then
But
Orton
yeah,
sucks.
I mean, it was a double count out. That was a double count out, so that's all I got to say. Go watch that video with me and Noah.
Ah, jeez.
Yeah,
All right.
basically, the crowd was saying, "Fuck both these guys."
Yeah.
And I don't blame
And
them.
fuck this match.
But boy, did things turn here with Finn
Yes.
Balor versus
Yep.
the debuting Fiend Bray Wyatt. So Finn Balor, he comes out, you know, the usual shtick. He does Balor Club Worldwide, you know, the da-da-da. But then we get the music stopping, and we're like, oh, Firefly Funhouse, hey. And then dies. The friggin' arena goes black, and more black. And then near black with just flashes of people's cell phones. And then you see on the Titantron in blood type lettering, let him in. And then you see the entranceway, a figure in fog. And then you hear the music. It's a rehash by Slipknot of his old theme. And then we
Was
see...
that officially Slipknot?
No.
I think it was.
It-
It, makes
it-
it
it
reminded me of that.
It was
I have to check
very
and see.
Slipknot sounding. It was just pretty much a metal
Yeah.
rendition
Yeah.
of the Mark Crozer theme.
Yeah.
I love it. Need to add it to
For all
my
we know,
iTunes.
it might be Slipknot.
Yeah, but
let's
it
not
makes
say
sense.
That
official.
vibe.
It was that vibe for damn
It
sure.
was the bit. It may have been the band, but it was a chick vocalist. It's the same one that's been doing
Yeah.
the Firefly
Hailstorm.
Funhouse theme.
Hailstorm. Yeah. And I mean, this was not so much a match as it was truly what can happen when you let creativity flourish from the wrestlers' input themselves. My God, what the hell did I just witness tonight? Screw the match. This was not a match. This was a featured presentation.
Yes.
Virtue, take it.
For years, since I started on NoDQ.com writing Virtue's Rage, Bray Wyatt was one of my main subjects. I wrote about him several times, and I said, this guy is awesome. To do what he was when Husky Harris with NXT, FCW, to that Bray Wyatt gimmick with the whole Wyatt family, I was like, this guy's special. He gets the business. And they just let him down. They let him down. He had moments, right? The Shield versus the Wyatts, the matches with Cena and The Undertaker at WrestleMania,
Yep.
the confrontation with The
Daniel
Rock
Bryan.
at WrestleMania. He had his moments,
Yep.
but they let him down when he won the championship and the whole Randy Orton thing. This guy was ruined by creative, and he went out and created. This is not a WWE production, people.
No.
This is a Wyndham Rotunda creation.
Yes.
He is brilliant enough to be in Hollywood. When I grew up, we had Freddy Krueger. We had Jason, Michael Myers, Leatherface. In the 90s, the Scream character came about. I Know What You Did Last Summer. Every generation of the horror... There's nothing these days. I mean, you guys might like the remakes because that's all they do.
Man.
Bray Wyatt is good enough to be in Hollywood, but he's a professional wrestler, so he's never going to really officially do that.
No.
The lantern with his face on it, I had chills up my spine. Like, I have goosebumps talking about it now.
There you go.
This is why I'm a wrestling fan. It was absolutely the best thing I've probably seen since the 90s.
I think I tweeted out personally.
It just unbelievable.
This is probably one of the best
Unbelievable.
things I've seen from WWE overall in years. Jerry, your thoughts on Finn Balor versus The Fiend?
Okay, so debut-wise, I'm not even going to call this a debut. This was a full-on relaunch of Bray Wyatt.
Damn right.
Simple as that. And sorry.
No, you're fine.
But the fact that, like, yeah, everybody was already pulling out their phones for the Firefly thing, but then the second that music hit, even bigger. Like there's like not one cell phone seemingly not in the air at that point, and the creepiness of the Bray Wyatt mask it was almost like the Fiend took off Bray Wyatt's face and went out to the ring to go destroy Finn Balor.
Think about the creative level that is, and why can't they spread that type of let wrestlers all contribute to their own gimmicks.
Yeah.
You would have much better morale in your locker room too. But continue.
But Tom Savini, one of my favorite like makeup effects artists and everything, did such a great job with the mask. And Chance already did the work on Bray Wyatt's new lantern that he's got with the green light on it, which made it that much creepier. And Finn Balor, like when the lights came back and everything, the look on his face,
pure terror.
Pure terror. And that's what a lot of these people were feeling. This kid was sitting right next to me, and he looked shook. And I'm like, I haven't seen that kind of reaction for somebody like feared, like than Papa Shango even back when.
This was better than that.
Yeah,
this was better than DiBiase bringing the Undertaker out at Survivor
Look
Series.
at the size
This was
of that
Hollywood level character
of the modern era.
But like the closest I can even think to this kind of debut that either gave me chills or excitement was Bray Wyatt before, like his initial debut with the Wyatt family and attacking Kane after his match. I think that like the build up to that was beautiful. I thought the build up to this one was great as well. And the match itself just showed this whole other vicious side and conflicted side, and I loved every minute of it. I was on the edge of my seat. I could not take my eyes off the ring. It was just, we were doing the yowie wowie chants. I was like, I'm watching my program here, and I couldn't. I was just mesmerized. It was fantastic.
Virtually speechless, yet he's still speaking. Steven, you are a huge proponent in not only creativity, but storylines. I think both were met here and exceeded probably your expectations. What was your thoughts on this?
Yeah, so for the past, 3-4 months or more, we've been waiting for this payoff.
Correct.
This was supposed to be the re-debut, the relaunch of Bray Wyatt. And I thought this was going to be the payoff for the last several months of Firefly Funhouses and the puppets coming out and creeping on dudes walking to the ring and everything else, and all the vignettes that we've seen with Bray Wyatt saying things to even just Finn Balor. I thought this was going to be the payoff, and in fact, this was a fairly typical squash match.
Yeah.
Finn Balor got a little bit of offense in here and there. Mostly it was meant to either no sell or just Bray would come right back with more offense.
Right.
Or there was one point where he had a sling blade on Bray and he looked like he might start getting some. No, I mean, Bray eventually shut him down. So this was a typical squash match. The payoff was the last 3 or 4 months of vignettes and Firefly Funhouses that we have gotten by Bray Wyatt. That was the payoff. And for all of the build-up to be the payoff so that he can go into the ring and work a match just like the Bray Wyatt that we knew. Everything he did in the match was the stuff that we've seen him do, except for 1 or 2 other things.
Yeah.
The finisher, the mandible claw, we've only seen him do that in non-match situations. Mm-hmm. And a move that he used to set up the finish of the match. And I thought for a moment he was going for a rest hold. It was just a neck wrench.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
It was not a wrestle.
That was terrifying.
That
I've already killed him.
Brought
oh my God.
the term neck breaker to a whole new level. He did the cinema, the movie, snapping someone's neck to Finn Balor, to the point to where, at least in our section, the crowd started chanting, he just killed you.
I literally
just killed him.
I literally quoted South Park and said, oh my God, he killed Balor.
Dude,
Yeah,
I mean,
they were. He killed Balor.
We know that the payoff in the long run is Finn Balor's going to be the demon. If they do that, if he's going to take some time off, supposedly,
This is the way to do
this
it.
to me, the demon Finn Balor and the Fiend Bray Wyatt should close WrestleMania 36, and it doesn't even need a title. That's how powerful this Bray Wyatt gimmick is.
That is presentation.
If I was Vince Russo of this era, I would tell Vince McMahon, you're stupid if you don't make that your main event.
Yeah.
That neck wrench alone, like
Oh my
that
gosh.
could easily buy 3 or 4 months off of television, if anything, because they could have that whole, like just like him saying he's not cleared to magically wrestle. He needs to take some time, clear his head, maybe get back in the frame of mind of things. That way he can go get married, do whatever he needs to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we ran into Finn Balor and
We
his
did.
fiance on the streets of Toronto on our way down Queen Street, and if that was his fiance he was with, I get it, man. Go take 2-3 months.
Take
do
all
your
time
thing.
you need.
Do your
Wow.
thing.
We could make a whole video about this, and
This
we
is
we
an
got to
amazing
save
city.
material
Oh my
for
God.
the review
Oh.
and stuff. So let's go there.
Yeah, but
You know what I mean?
yeah.
I got to go watch it. I actually got to go watch it on TV. To see
I'm gonna
how-
watch this like 3 or 4 more times on my 8-hour bus trip tomorrow. I'm just gonna close with this. Those 2 moves, what a way to add to his arsenal with already you know what he does. And the fact that his submission turned into not a submission finish, but a pinfall finish with an incapacitated Balor, that was unique in itself. And even the post angle, his exit was
Yes.
brilliant in itself with the laugh and him just there at the end of the rampway with the flashing lights and the lantern and then
Oh,
gone.
not just there. He rolled out of the ring and dashed up that
he
fucking
ran.
ramp.
I watched his shadow.
They might
He
cut the lights out, but
flew.
you can still kind of see.
Right, but I'm just figuring what the
But on
WWE Network
TV, you
percentage has.
can't-
That's what I'm thinking.
Don't F it up, WWE.
Yeah, don't-
Better not.
Seriously,
You better
please.
not fuck this up. This is the reason I'm going to watch Raw and SmackDown live now with a screen that's 40% than 30%. But I digress.
All right, we have one more.
Yeah,
match.
let's go for this last match now, folks. We've made it to the main event. Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins. Number 3, number 4, I've lost count at this point, for the Universal Championship. And this is my first Brock Lesnar match live. I was expecting the typical stuff. Ding ding, Brock comes in, the babyface goes after him, hot angle, Brock takes momentum, F5, momentum gained, suplexes, Brock wins. It wasn't really that. I was surprised and in like a state of shock for 15 seconds because, Jerry, what was your thoughts on this match and who was the victor?
Well, I'm not going to cover that part. I'm going to cover the fact that, like, I got to see one of my favorite performers in the world, like, in this match, not even wrestle. Paul Heyman. I love Paul Heyman to pieces. His intro for Brock Lesnar, always super entertaining, always generates heat to the point where you think he'd not do the whole this isn't sing along with the champ or sing along with the advocate. He lets the crowd do it because they know it as to be true.
Yep.
And then you have him watching him from the outside of the ring. Oh, like,
He's watching his beast do what he loves.
He doesn't have to be he doesn't have to be on his cell phone like he was in a Dangerous Alliance or anything. He just watches this monster destroy. He's a whole other participant in this match, and I loved every minute of that. The match itself was vicious. It was back and forth, which surprised the shit out of me.
From the get-go, I might add, it wasn't like Brock controlled it, then the babyface getting controlled, and then went back to Brock. It was very back and forth.
Yeah. So from there, yeah, I wasn't expecting the finish. Like, there was a couple moments where, I was thinking, okay, this could legitimately happen, but then if he's as badly injured as he's looking, which kind of gave me that believability. Like, that was one of those story things where I was like, okay, we've told the story of the ribs, we've told the story of the neck, we've told the story of the ankle bone, knee bone, elbow bone, what the fuck ever. Like Rollins was hurting all over. So for the end result to happen the way it did, I think it threw a lot of people on a night where we had Pretty
Like,
much no title changes like the entire weekend
Yeah.
Until this match.
until this match.
Stephen, take it away.
So I think the story being told here was because of the last 2 weeks and the attacks that Brock Lesnar made on Seth Rollins, he went into this match thinking he was going to win no matter what.
Yeah.
And it cost him. Because when he first hit an F5 on Seth Rollins, he didn't even go for a pin.
No.
Brock Lesnar had to kick out of several stomps.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins never had to kick out of an F5. There was a spot where Seth goes for a stomp and he almost gets caught in an F5 Randy Orton style. Remember that WrestleMania match? Shoots him in the air and
I was
catches him with
expecting
the
that to
RKO.
be the ending.
But he gets out of that F5 and we don't actually see it. So the cockiness of Brock Lesnar is what cost him his title, because he should have won this match, honestly. There was a point where he picks up Seth Rollins by the tape around his ribs and just slings him around Cesaro style.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Talk about a real Cesaro swing. And yeah, as you put it, Brock Lesnar lost. Seth did it. And before Virtue says so, I'm just going to say this. To me, I went in this with flawed thinking. And I'm pretty sure he's going to say what I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it to the legend. Virtue, I know how big you are on Brock. I saw your face. And you did see mine. But give me your thoughts on this match and what you think's
I
to come.
picked Brock to win, so I wasn't mad that I lost it. But because Becky Lynch, Ronda Rousey, and Charlotte Flair were in the main event at WrestleMania, and Brock and Seth had to be in the opener, the whole Money in the Bank thing was done to do that. This is what Vince McMahon wanted to close Mania.
Yep.
Yeah.
Seth beating Brock, he got it to close SummerSlam.
Yep.
I'm going to say this, I don't know how soon this will be posted. I think by the end of Monday Night Raw, and I could be totally wrong, this is a gut feeling, Seth is going to get beat down by Brock Lesnar so bad in the next week he will vacate the Universal title and it will be vacated. They will have a tournament for it. That's my gut feeling. I think that's why this was done.
And Vega will once again be Universal Champion.
There's something about Seth having
That's
that
an
title. I'm
interesting
not
way-
buying it. He might keep it, right, and have it all fall, right? But
Right.
I got the gut feeling this isn't over.
That's
This
an
is-
interesting way to
this
make
isn't
someone
over.
a transitional champion.
This is not over.
True, but it's also potentially a way to create a brand new star as we head into fall. Because right now, you think about Seth Rollins as champ, who's going to challenge him for it?
Yeah.
Jerry, I believe you were about to say something.
Well, they're already announcing for Monday and Tuesday that they're going to be having the Raw and SmackDown still here in Toronto,
right.
and they're already saying that Baron Corbin is going to face Seth Rollins.
Perfect time for Brock to come out and beat the crap out of Seth
But
Rollins.
wasn't the last stipulation that they had Baron Corbin was not going to get any more title shots against
Well, if it
him?
was over a month ago, they forget it. They don't do
Yeah, but
continuity.
Seth Rollins lost the title and then now he's got it back. That resets the rule.
Correct.
That's
That's
not-
Oh, so they can
That's-
redo the
that's
whole
true,
Corbin
too.
and Rollins program. I swear to God, somehow Seth's going to get beat up even worse than he has been in the past week, and they're going to have to say, unfortunately, Seth, you got to vacate.
Or
the
maybe
title.
they're going to put him in, make that match a title match, and then Brock Lesnar's going to beat up Seth early in the show, and he's still got to defend the title, and Baron Corbin takes the title from him because he's so beat up.
Oh,
That's potential there because I'm sure Vince McMahon wants to put that title on Baron Corbin. We see how much he pushes the man.
I like Baron Corbin. He's got a great move.
But that, I don't.
Yeah.
That, I have nothing else, no other thoughts on that. I just think that something's fishy with this whole Seth winning it.
Yeah, I honestly did not see this coming. Again, like you said, I truly figured at the end of this, okay, so they were actually trying to basically do WrestleMania here because it didn't happen at the actual WrestleMania. Hence, maybe why
Well,
we
it
got
did,
Pyro
but not
too.
in that main event spot. And that's Vince McMahon's spot, damn it.
Yeah, exactly. Vince has to
And,
control
he
everything.
just felt obligated to put the women in there, which they deserved. But Ronda Rousey was the only reason why that was there.
Yeah, let's be honest. If Ronda Rousey wasn't on that card, they would have probably opened it.
Because guess what? Seth had that title and the fireworks behind him. That's a
Yeah.
WrestleMania moment.
That's the- and that's the
going
biggest thing.
home. That's why they did it.
They treated this like a WrestleMania. We had pyro, and that right there told me this was going to be
Not a
something
lot of
different.
pyro.
Still something.
It is dwarfed by anything that happens in Saudi Arabia.
yeah.
Well, nothing will ever top that. I'm surprised that place isn't burned down to the ground. But I digress.
We did it. We got through that.
Anyway,
Woo.
yep, that is our review. and
We're gonna rate
takeaways
this bitch.
from WWE Summerslam. So let's
Great.
go through and
Let's
give
do
our
letter
later
grades.
grades on the show. Stephen, why don't you kick us off?
It's probably going to be padded because I was there. And, you
That's
know,
okay. That's
even
fine.
The
I do that.
exciting
Yeah, I'm
matches,
gonna do that
well,
too.
it goes both ways because the exciting matches are more exciting, but the ones that aren't they feel like, oh my god, when's the show going to be over? I'm going to go generous and give it a B minus.
Okay.
I feel like that's generous. I feel like I've seen way better pay-per-views. In fact, Money in the Bank in person was so much better of a pay-per-view than this.
Interesting. Jerry?
You gotta figure we just came off of a takeover.
Yeah, that was our problem then too.
Like what the WWE couldn't really do with 10 matches, like pretty much making us care about each of the matches in some way, shape, or form, they managed to do in 5. And the crowd was a lot more on fire, and they were even smaller than the ones we had like tonight. The main spots for me tonight was Bray Wyatt showing up, which thankfully they saved towards the end of the show.
Absolutely.
And you had a couple spots here and there in the card, but it wasn't really anything that special for me. It really wasn't. So, but like I said, it's all about the experience of being here and seeing it live. This kid sitting next to me cheered for AJ Styles the entire time. And I told his dad, you know what, you're raising this kid right. And for me, watching, the fans react and then the reaction for Seth Rollins winning the pop at the end there, that was actually a pretty feel-good pop, and it's like, what the fuck just happened? But otherwise, it was an average show for me, and I give it a C.
Wow. Alright. I feel like he's going to have the strongest case for his grade, so I'm just going to keep it simple. First ever pay-per-view of the Big Four. First live experience. Bray Wyatt, you made my night. I am not going to stop watching this clip the entire week, probably, and that match, debut, presentation, whatever the hell you want to call it. Seeing Goldberg and Dolph Ziggler sell those spears was freaking hilarious. Love that to bits. And then, yeah, the shocking end that really caught me off guard, but you know what? It gave me a moment, and I got pyro. I thought this was a pretty darn good show overall. Was it better than TakeOver, in my opinion? No. But I am going to say it was better than your grade. For me, I'm going to give it a solid B. Virtue, what about you?
Jerry nailed it. This was a C show. Because I was there and found ways to have good times, the video that Aaron took of us and all that good stuff, all the hooting and hollering and chanting. You don't have Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan on your biggest show of the summer because you want to do some storyline on TV with them. That's why it's a C show. But I'll bump it up because of Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, and we had a good time with the No DQ crew, so C+.
And shout out to the guy that said you
C+.
suck.
And even though I was there, just a C+.
Shout out to the you suck guy that told us who sucked every match. He was awesome.
Yeah, he was hilarious.
Support, no DQ.
So with that concludes everything from our standpoint at SummerSlam. Let's go ahead and do our plugs. Gentlemen, this was an extreme pleasure. Stephen, where can people find you?
All right, you can find me on Twitter. Go to nodq.com/Stephan. That's STEFAN. Or if you just want to look me up on Twitter, it's at Stephan R. Osborne, OSBORNE. As always, the R stands for restricted. You can also find the gentleman on Twitter
At NoDQ General, and on my Facebook group Armbar, all capital, ARNBAR.
Exclamation point! Don't forget that.
Just join us there for memes, discussions, a whole bunch of random videos, and just different podcasts and everything too. We have different links going on there too.
Yeah, find us there on Facebook. Don't try to add us unless you came to the meetup today. Then you can add us on Facebook. That's all right. We met you. Also, you can find me on Instagram at osborne.stephan. I don't post anything, but you're welcome to follow me. And if you like this video, click the like button that's over there underneath Virtue. And if you like all of our videos, please click the subscribe button that's over there underneath Jerry. If you're watching this on nodq.com's YouTube channel, after you subscribe, click that bell icon, because when we hit 100 subscribers on Aftermatch, we're going to start doing What's NXT Live, and that'll let you know when we go live on Thursday mornings. And if you are subscribed on Aftermatch, that's all one word, AFTERMATCH, Aftermatch
Wrestling.
Do us a favor and click the share button. Share us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, on your YouTube, wherever. If your friends like watching wrestling, maybe they will like watching us as well.
Nice, very nice. Virtue, it was a pleasure spending the weekend here with you, man. You are a legend.
Did I deliver?
You delivered on all fronts. I can't wait for our next experience with you.
You know why they call me the Troll Slayer?
Because you burn it down.
NoDQ.com/virtue with the lowercase v, and Twitter, my favorite place, at NoDQ_virtue, VIRTUE.
Simple as that. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to know more about me, know this. I'm just a simple man and a lifelong fan of wrestling. So if you want to follow me and talk anything wrestling, WWE or beyond, look me up on Twitter, NoDQ.com/Noah. It takes you to my Twitter page. And you know what, the hell of it. Instagram, at nfoster9016. I'm going to post a ton of stuff from this Toronto experience for damn sure. As always, support NoDQ. They're the reason I'm in YouTube, and pretty much all of us are together. Go buy a shirt. Buy this shirt. Buy that shirt. Buy that shirt. I don't think we have a shirt like that. NoDQ.com/shirts. New and old designs, coffee cups, mugs, tapestries, so much NoDQ stuff. Go buy it. Just buy it. Simple.
He's
You can't buy that shirt.
WWE Shop or on eBay.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm thinking of Troll Slayer. That shirt's better than the Roman Reigns shirt.
Yeah, NoDQ.com/shop.
Yeah, still, NoDQ.com/shirts, people. Just go there. If you want to follow me more on wrestling, though, with reviews, outtakes, recaps, rants, follow my silly YouTube channel at youtube.com/Noah. youtube.com/user/Noah Foster 210. That takes you to my civil YouTube channel where you'll find all sorts of things wrestling, WWE and beyond, AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, Ring of Honor, and independent wrestling. Support independent wrestling, folks. And also at the heart of it, you'll find my series, #2 for That Matters, in collaboration with NoDQ, where I talk all things cruiserweight wrestling, then down forever, and review the Tool for That brand every week with guests. I can't wait to discuss the Cruiserweight title match more and what Tuesday will bring as well. And as always, I like to close. Support your wrestling outlets, both big and small, and let's keep growing. It's incredible wrestling community together. Simple as that. With that, thank you so much for joining us on this SummerSlam experience. Like, share, subscribe, comment, hit that bell, tell a friend. Leave your thoughts down below. Leave us any questions you will have. We will interact with you. It's what we do. We are Team NoDQ. Until the next video, next column, next tweet, next anything from us, take care of your families. Enjoy life. Tomorrow's never guaranteed. Take a chance on wrestling. Go take a look at something WWE at least. Start from there and go from there. And until the next vid, I am the simple man. He is the general. He is the wizard. He is the troll slayer. Y'all have a good night.